Hi, you guys, it's Yaz, and welcome to the Game Exposed podcast. If you guys have a brief question on a narcissist and you want to submit it and have your question answered on the podcast, submit a brief question, you guys, no more than a paragraph because it won't be read. Text your questions to 917-636-1109 and text me your questions, and I'll try to get to as many questions as I can and answer them on the podcast, but please make it brief, no more than a paragraph, okay? 917-636-1109. Hi, you guys, it's Yaz, and today I'm going to get into it about all the things about sleeping with the enemy, the narcissist, okay? I'm going to talk about all the weird behaviors a narcissist has when you crawl into bed with them, how they are with their sleep, and all the strange things that you're going to find when you're, sleeping with a narcissist or living with a narcissist. So let me get right in on how narcissists are. The first thing that you're going to notice a lot when you're dealing with a narcissist, and especially a narcissist who may have other supply, is that they always fall asleep on the couch, okay? They always are falling asleep with you. And you're saying to yourself, why are they so tired? Well, what narcissists do is they're constantly going from one supply to another supply. And then when they come to you, if you're like one of their main supplies, they're falling asleep with you. Or if you're somebody who's been with the narcissist a while, they know they already have you. So they kind of take you for granted. And, they're so busy going out with other supplies that by the time they spend time with you, they're tired. They're falling asleep. They're falling asleep maybe when you're watching a movie, all right? And it's because the narcissist is out there creeping, all right? A lot of times, narcissists, they lie. Creeping narcissists will be lying and telling you, like, for instance, that they're, going to sleep during the week, and then maybe the weekends they come to see you and they're falling asleep. And you say to yourself, I just don't understand why this person is so tired. Well, it's because the narcissist wasn't going to bed when they told you they were going to bed. They were out there seeing other supply, okay? So if you're with a narcissist and they're constantly falling asleep on you, I mean, more than an average person. I'm not talking about somebody who just works hard, has a busy work schedule, and is falling asleep. I'm talking about something that doesn't seem right, okay? Then you need to look into this and say to yourself, there's a reason why this person keeps falling asleep on me, all right? And it could be because they're out there running around and they're so tired by the time they come and see you, all right? Next, another thing you need to know about a narcissist, let's say you guys are sleeping in the same bed or maybe you're living together, is that when you're in a relationship with a narcissist and you go to bed, you have to always sleep with one eye open with a narcissist. And why is that? Because a lot of times when you are falling asleep, that's when the narcissist is getting into their shady business. That means when you go to sleep, the narcissist is texting on their phone. They may go into the other room. They may be calling other people, downstairs or outside. That they use the time that you fall asleep to contact maybe other supply or other people. And a lot of times when you're going to bed, the narcissist isn't necessarily going to bed at the same time you're going to bed. A lot of times they want to stay up late, all right? They may lie to you and tell you that they're playing a game on their phone. They love to use the excuse that they play games on their phone. All right. And I'm not saying that people can't play games on their phone, but this is one of the excuses that narcissists use. They'll say, I'm going to be up late. I'm just playing a game on my phone. And meanwhile, they're texting other supply. Okay. So they never really want to go to bed when you go to bed. You'll find that, or sometimes they'll say something like, oh, you go ahead. I'm just going to be down here, watching this movie, or I'm just going to be on my phone playing a game or something. They'll make an excuse, all right, why they don't want to go to bed at the same time as you. And that's because, again, They're texting other people. They may be calling other people. So they use when you go to sleep as their time to do what they want to do and get in touch with other supply. They need you out of the way. And one of the ways they get you out of the way is either when you're sleeping, or another excuse they use is that they have to run to the store or they have to run to their car and they're contacting other supply. Okay? Now, another thing that you need to know with regard to all this, you guys, is that also when you fall asleep, that's when the narcissist may go through your phone. If you don't have a password on your phone, the way you're suspicious of the narcissist, you could trust and believe that the narcissist is suspicious of you, all right? They don't trust anybody. They feel if they're out there doing something, you must be, okay? They didn't trust you from day one. So when you fall asleep, that narcissist may be going through your phone, checking your messages, checking your call logs, and everything like that. Or narcissists can also be thieves. They may be going through your things, going through your mail, fishing around, smelling your laundry to see if they smell sex on it, okay? Narcissists are, they're erratic creatures in the sense that because they're so untrusting, they always think that you're a liar. They think that you're cheating. So when you fall asleep, that's when that narcissist is going to be fishing around either to rob you maybe or see what you have, or maybe they want to see what kind of assets you have. They may go through your bank statements. They may go through your mail. I've heard narcissists actually take people's credit card numbers when they're sleeping. All right. And they're going to look around, see what you have. And, that's when they're able to really fish around and you're not noticing it, all right? Or they may try to take something, and then when you ask them about it, let's say you notice something missing down the road, and you say, did you see, my ear pods or something like that? They'll say, oh, no, I didn't see them. And see, a narcissist, they may feel like, they're entitled to take whatever they want. They feel they could touch your stuff. They feel they can take your stuff. And they feel entitled to all these things, all right? So when you go to sleep, that narcissist is fishing around, looking at everything, all right? Another thing that you have to keep in mind, too, is when you go into bed with a narcissist, what a lot of narcissists do is they sit on the other side of the bed, you guys, all right? They sit on the other side of the bed. They have their phone right there next to them, either under their pillow or on the nightstand or on the floor next to them, on the side of their bed. And they're always leaning towards the opposite side of you and sleeping that way. And what they do is they pretend to be sleeping because they want you to fall asleep. And a lot of them, what they'll do is they'll pick up their phone on the side of the bed and they'll be texting when you finally fall asleep. They'll be pretending to fall asleep. So they want to fool you, make sure you're asleep, and they're pretending to go to bed with you. Let's say they say, okay, let's go to bed, blah, 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 but they got to get in touch with their other supply. And you crawl into bed with them, they say, oh, I'm so tired. And then they're leaning to the side, pretending to fall asleep. You finally fall asleep, and guess what they're doing? They're picking up that phone and they're texting, but they got their back to you, all right? They got their back to you. So a lot of times you won't know if you fall asleep. Now, another weird behavior that I've heard in a lot of these narcissist groups that narcissists do is when you're sleeping, the narcissist may take pictures of you, all right? It's very creepy, but it's been done. Narcissists may take pictures of you when you're sleeping, or they may be staring at you when you're sleeping. And people say, why is the narcissist staring at me when I'm sleeping? Well, a narcissist studies people. So they're looking at you, they're studying you. They're also very jealous when you're at peace and you're at rest and you're sleeping because they have such unrest within themselves. Remember what I told you in my older podcast about how narcissists have anxiety. It's hard for them to just settle down. They always, they're never ever content. They're never happy. So when they see you sleeping, they're studying you to see if you're peaceful. They also like to take pictures of you and post it on social media. I've heard people do this where they'll post pictures of you. Maybe you don't look good when you're sleeping. Maybe you don't have makeup on. Maybe your hair is a mess. Maybe you're disheveled in the bed. And the narcissist, they think it's cute. And what they'll do is they'll take pictures of you and they'll post it on social media. And why do they do that? To humiliate you. And some of them may even take pictures so they can blackmail you down the road and say, oh, I got these pictures that I'm sure your friends would love to see or everybody would love to see. See, narcissists, they always want to have something on you, all right? So if they could blackmail you any way they want to, they will, okay? So you can never, ever trust them. That's why you always got to sleep with one eye open and see what this narcissist is doing, because you can't trust them. You can't trust them around your stuff. You can't trust them in your place. You can't trust them around your children, all right? Why? Because they have devious criminal minds, all right? They have devious criminal minds, and, they do things that a normal person wouldn't do. A normal person would respect somebody's stuff. A normal person would respect somebody's children. A normal person would respect you, all right? They wouldn't be taking pictures of you or they wouldn't be, texting other people and pretending to be in a relationship with you. So narcissists are very sneaky, especially the covert narcissist, all right? And they love to do things when you're off guard. And when you're sleeping, you're off guard, okay? You're not watching them, and they love it. They love when, they can fish, especially if it's your place, all right? They love to go through everything. Like I said, they're going to go through your phone. If you don't have a password on your phone, they're going to, then they could go and they could accuse you later on that you're cheating. Even if you're not cheating, they'll make up some bullshit and say, how you deleted messages when you never deleted messages. They look for a hair and an egg to throw out at you later on, okay? And to justify why they're cheating. So when a narcissist gets caught cheating, one of the biggest responses they have is, well, you were cheating on me. I saw you deleted my messages, or I know you were cheating on me, or something along those lines. When in fact, it's what they're doing is just putting all their shame on you, okay? Now, another thing that narcissists do, okay, when you're sleeping in the bed with them is a lot of times narcissists are cold, they're not affectionate, and especially once they get you. See, in the beginning, they're going to hit you with that love bombing shit. They're going to be, touchy-feely, cuddly, wonderful. They're going to, pretend to be intimate with you when it's just sex. See, with a narcissist, it's purely sex. They don't want to get too close to you because they're afraid of getting hurt. So they're not going to get their feelings all in. The best of them is going to be in the very beginning, and especially when it comes to sex, all right? That's when, they're really going to be into sex, is in the very, very beginning of the relationship. And if later on in the relationship they want sex, they want to be intimate, it's not intimacy. It's just purely sex and just for the pleasure. It's not because they love you, they care about you, they want to be close with you, that they have sex with you. They have sex for instant gratification, or they have sex to, get you sweating them. They lay it, some of them can lay it down in the bedroom, give you great sex because they want you begging, they want you thirsty for them. But once they know they got you, then they could be very cold, distant in the bedroom, and they'll give you excuses like, I'm tired, or, there's more to a relationship than just sex. Anybody who says to you, there's more to a relationship than just sex is not into you. Period, dot, end of story, okay? Because, part of being close with your partner is the fact that you want to be close with them. It doesn't mean that you have sex 15 times a day, but what it means is you do want to have sex with your partner on a regular basis because you want to feel that closeness with them. You want that intimacy. And this is one of the biggest red flags, that the narcissist, is there for other reasons than just to be with you and be in love with you. They could be with you because maybe you live in a big house. They could be with you because maybe you have money or you're successful. And in those cases, they may not necessarily be into you in a physical way, which means that when you get in bed with them, they're not going to be looking to have sex with you. They're going to tell you, they're going to love bomb you and tell you, oh, I love you so much. Oh, you're the greatest thing that came in my life. Oh, I'll never leave you. But then they don't want to have sex with you. And why don't they want to have sex with you? Because 9 times out of 10, they're probably having sex with somebody else, and they're with you for other reasons. They're with you because they like all the financial things that you could offer them, okay? Or they're just with you because you're a security blanket and they know that you're there, but they're out having sex with other people, but they like knowing that you're there. You're the security blanket. They like the other things that you have to offer, which might be you're a therapist, you're a mommy figure to them. They know that you've got their back, but they may not, want to have sex with you because they have other things going on, all right? And we actually, in one of our groups, we had somebody who, she was engaged to this guy for 6-7 months, and he kept making excuses why he didn't want to have sex with her. And we all told her there's something going on. And she said, well, I don't know when he's having sex. He's always with me. And turns out, yes, there was something going on. He was having sex. He was having, a relationship or a situationship with somebody on the side. All right. So a lot of times, notice this, you guys, if you're with somebody and they just never want to have sex with you, they are with you for other reasons. Period. End of story. Okay. So a lot of them, some of them like to even camp out in your house. They like to hang out in your house. This could be also the broke, busted narcissist. The broke, busted narcissist has nothing, okay? They're unstable. They may be living with a friend. They may be living with family, and maybe you got your own place, and they like to come there. They like to hang out. They like to hang their coat. They like to run your house and everything like that, but they're not really into you, but they just like hanging out in your place, all right? But they're not really looking for sex like a normal person would be looking from sex, when they miss them and they see them and they want to be with them. This is somebody that's just using you for convenience, all right? They're using you because they like coming to your place. Your place is like the bed and breakfast, all right? Maybe you cook for them. Maybe they like to, just hang out in your place. You might have a nice place, but they're not looking to have sex all the time. And they just, they rather go on their phone or watch TV or, play a game or something like that, but they're not really into you, all right? So you may find that with some of these user narcissists. So these are just some of the things you got to be aware of when you're dealing with a narcissist. And it comes down to bedtime. Now, another strange behavior when it comes to bedtime with the narcissist is that we know that narcissists are very, very selfish. Okay, so when it comes to sleeping with a narcissist, they may be somebody who they may like to irritate you and put the TV on loud just to irritate you if they see you're sleeping, because maybe they're jealous that you're able to go to bed, and you're able to fall asleep because you're at peace with yourself. See, narcissists are not always at peace with themselves. That's why a lot of times they're night birds, okay? They're always up late, and they may put the TV on really loud to disturb you, and they don't care. Or they might put the air conditioning on really high because they don't care. Everything is around them. Or they might put the heat on really high, and you're sweating, and they don't care. But the difference is, if you ever do it to them, they will flip out. Okay, in other words, if you don't respect their sleep, if they're sleeping and you put the TV on, they may pop off at you Like, how dare you put the TV on? Or if you have the air conditioner at a certain level, they'll be bitching and moaning. It's so hot in here. It's so cold in here. So everything has to be according to what they want when it comes to sleep, all right? They want to be comfortable. They're not respectful of other people, and they won't be respectful of you either with your sleeping as well. Let's say you've got to go to bed and you've got to be up early for a morning meeting, all right? Or you have a big presentation at work the next day. That narcissist doesn't care. They want you to entertain them. If they have nothing else going on, they'll say, oh, can't you stay up? Why are you going to bed? Oh, keep me company. Oh, watch this movie. They don't respect the fact that you have work the next day or anything like that. And some of them are so sadistic, they want to screw you up. They want to screw you up because they're jealous. They don't want to see you do better than them. The only time a narcissist would want to see you do really well in your occupation is if they're benefiting financially from it. But even sometimes if they're benefiting financially from it, they could be very selfish. They want 100% attention on them. They don't respect the fact that you're going to bed, you have a presentation. So a lot of times narcissists, they'll wake you up, okay? Why do you got to sleep? They also will wake you up, let's say, if you're not feeling good. They want attention. How dare you be sick in the bed? Why aren't you giving me attention? Or they may look for sex out of you and you're not well. And then when you don't give sex to them, they'll sit there and say, oh, you must be fucking somebody else, okay? You must be fucking somebody else. Meanwhile, you're not feeling good or you're tired because you're working your tail off at work. And right away, they accuse you that you must be, having sex or being with somebody else because you're not giving them 100% attention or 100%, focusing in on them. They don't respect you. They don't respect that you have your own thing going on, all right? So they want complete attention, and that even comes to, in the bedroom. They may wake you up in the middle of the night and expect sex from you. They don't care that you've got to get up early, all right? They just want their selfish needs met. So they'll be like, come on, have sex. Come on. And it's not because they want to be intimate with you, from a loving standpoint. It's because they just want pure sex from you just to use you as a piece of meat, okay? So, narcissists, when it comes to sleeping, you won't get any fucking sleep with these people because you won't be able to relax. When you try to lay down, like I said, one of the biggest things with a narcissist is they never want to go to bed when you want to go to bed. They're on a totally different time clock. And if they do go to bed, they're pretending to sleep. And then they get up sometimes during the night and they're lurking around. They're creepy, okay? They are creepy, okay? I've experienced this, you guys. That's why I could speak on it. So, they're not a normal person that goes to bed at a normal time, wakes up at a normal time. Their mind is constantly going. They're always thinking about what they got to do. They're always trying to, contact other supply when you're, trying to relax, you're trying to rest. They're not focused in on the relationship with you. They always have other things going on, all right? Even, texting their friends, calling their friends, being on the phone loud, and they don't care that you're sleeping. Again, they don't respect your sleep because they're selfish. They're selfish. Another thing I want to bring up about the narcissist and sleeping with the enemy, another thing that they do is sometimes, it might be bedtime and the narcissist decides they want to go down in the kitchen and start cooking. Meanwhile, it's late at night, all right? Again, you have to get up early, and the narcissist is just walking around banging pots and pans. They decide they want to cook a big meal or they want to do something. And again, they're not respecting your sleep. They're not on a normal clock like somebody else. They're creatures of the night. A lot of these narcissists are creatures of the night. That's when they're doing all their shady business. So you will feel out of whack with this narcissist because they're not on the same page as you. They don't respect the same things that you do. They don't like the everyday go to work, come home, go to bed, sleep a normal sleep cycle, get up and do it again. No, the narcissist is constantly, looking for excitement, constantly looking for thrills. And, again, they don't respect the fact that, you have things that you have to do or you have to sleep. Everything is about them. Completely selfish. And one last thing, too, I forgot to add, you guys, that narcissists may do is they may play loud music. They may play loud music when you're sleeping. They don't care. Again, they're not respectful of you. They're not respectful of your sleep. But again, if the shoe was on the other foot and you ever did any of this to them, they would either flip out, yell and scream if you're dealing with an overt, malignant, or grandiose narcissist. And if you were dealing with a covert narcissist, they would get pissed off and go into a silent treatment kind of thing. They would give you the silent treatment because you're not respecting their sleep. Now, another thing I want to bring up that you need to be aware of is that most narcissists, not all, but most narcissists do their dirty work either late at night or early morning. People forget about the early morning business. A lot of narcissists see the other supply early morning. So when you call that narcissist, let's say you're not living together, and you call that narcissist up before work, they're going to tell you they were sleeping all morning, all right? Or they overslept, and meanwhile, they were at their other supply's house, or the other supply was at their house. They use that as an excuse. They'll tell you they're sleeping in the early morning, or they were tired, or they slept late, and that's when they get it in. They get it in before work. Sometimes maybe they'll go see their other supply before work, and they also do it late at night, all right? Now, another thing I want to bring up about the narcissist, you'll notice when you're in bed with the narcissist and you guys are just hanging out in bed, the narcissist is always on the other side of the bed, okay? They may be sitting at the end of the bed, they're on their phone, they're telling you they're watching YouTube videos, they're watching music videos, they're playing games on their phone, and what they're doing is they're texting their other supply. So they don't want to sit too close to you on the bed because then you could see what's going on their phone. So they'll come into the bedroom, they'll be in the bed with you, but they'll be on the other side of the bed, okay? They'll be facing opposite you sometimes. Maybe you have the TV on and they're sitting at the end of the bed and you're sitting up against the backboard of the bed, and they never want to sit right next to you because then you could see what they're doing on their phone. And then they give you excuses and say, oh, I'm just playing a game on my phone. Or, oh, I'm just watching videos on my phone. Meanwhile, they're trying to get those texts in to their other supply, okay? So notice when you're in the bed with the narcissist, if they're always on the opposite side of the bed and they don't want to be close to you and they have their phone in their hand, it's because they don't want you to see what they're doing, you guys. Another thing that I wanted to bring up, you guys, is the fact that when a narcissist falls asleep, most of the time, they're light sleepers, all right? So let's say you suspect your narcissist partner of doing something shady or something, and maybe you want to check their phone, or maybe you're, looking around to see if anything doesn't look right. And what a narcissist does is they're so suspicious of you that when they sleep, they're a light sleeper. They're afraid to go into a deep sleep unless they are so darn tired, all right, that they can't keep their eyes open. So when a narcissist is sleeping, a lot of times if you get up and you start walking around, they're going to wake up right away. They may not show you that they wake up, but they're going to be spotting you because they don't trust you that you'll be going through their things because they have something to hide, all right? A lot of times they have something to hide, whether it's their phone or, something, in their wallet or in their pocketbook or something they don't want you to see. So they're always going to be watching you. A narcissist is always going to be watching what you're doing. So they'll always kind of sleep lightly so that they can keep track of where you're at. And this is another thing I want to bring up too. A lot of times what narcissists do in the house is maybe you guys communicate by phone. Maybe you're in the kitchen and they're in the bedroom. And what they might do is they might text you and say, "What are you doing right now?" And you say, "Oh, nothing, I'm just cooking in the kitchen." And the reason that the narcissist does that is because they want to see that you're busy so that they can contact their other supply. They want to make sure you're not around. Or they may text you, let's say, if you ran to the store or something, and let's say they need to call their other supply, they may text you when you're out and say, "Where are you now? Where are you now?" Okay, this is why a lot of times narcissists will call you up and ask you, "Well, what are you doing now? Where are you now?" They want to make sure you're nowhere near where they are so that they can call that other supply, okay? This is what they do, you guys, in order to try to contact their other supply. They got to make sure that they don't get caught, so they always want to make sure that you're not around when they're about to call or something. And the other thing they do is when you crawl into bed with them, like I said, a lot of times they're going to roll over to the side and pretend that they're sleeping when they're really not. And they just want to make sure that you fall asleep so they can either get up, start creeping around the house, or call or text their other supply. Either from the side of the bed, they could text, or they can go into another room and call their other supply. So they pretend to sleep sometimes when they're really not sleeping. Now, one last point I want to bring up that somebody mentioned. They said they're narcissist, and they've noticed this with narcissists. They like to sleep naked. Now, this doesn't go for all narcissists, all right? There's always exceptions to the rule. But some narcissists like to sleep naked. They like to walk around. They like to be free. They like to have almost no clothing on, walking around, and they want you lusting after them. A lot of times they do that because what they're doing is they're dangling their bodies in front of you, and they just, they want you like sitting there constantly lusting after them, even if they're not looking for sex. They want the attention. They want you constantly staring at them and staring at their bodies, and they don't care. There could be children in the house, maybe children, in another room or something, and they don't care. They don't care. They're sleeping naked. You may have to tell them, "Listen, put a blanket over you. Little Johnny or little Susie's running around out there in the hallway," okay? But again, some narcissists, not all of them, and don't come back at me and say, "Well, I sleep naked and I'm not a narcissist." We're not talking about you, okay? We're talking about the narcissist that sleeps naked, that likes to be free, and wants you constantly lusting after them. That is for you to constantly be drooling and lusting after them, for sex or something like that. It's the way of them dangling the carrot in front of you, so you're always constantly lusting after them. But it's not necessarily that they want to have sex with you, but they want you, they want you thirsty for them. They want you thirsty for them. And you'll see this a lot with female covert narcissists, all right? They may be in the bed, they may be naked, and what they're trying to do, they want you lusting after them. And this is a way to control you. So you'll do anything for them because you're lusting after them. You're lusting after that sex or that pussy, or you're lusting after that dick if it's the other way around, you guys. Sorry to be so illicit, but that's what it is, all right? I always tell it like it is. So you may notice that with narcissists. And again, they don't respect the fact that there may be other people in the home or children in the home. They may be laying in the bedroom like that, and they don't care. They don't care who comes and walks in, but they're doing it because, again, they're trying to build up that sexual tension in you so that you're lusting after them. And this way they can, control you. You'll do anything for them because, they want to feel like they're the sexiest thing around. Okay. So these are just a couple of things to be aware of when you're dealing with a narcissist in the bedroom and sleeping, how they pretend to be sleeping. They're doing shady things. They may be taking pictures of you when you're sleeping. They may be going through your stuff when they're sleeping. They have selfish habits of keeping the TV loud, maybe, adjusting the temperature in the room to what they like. They don't care that they're freezing you out with the AC or that they put the heat all the way up. They don't care if they're banging pots and pans in the kitchen. to annoy you. It's because they don't want you to sleep, all right? They want attention. Okay, if they're not out there texting or calling other people, they want your attention. They don't want you to sleep. So that'll be the passive-aggressive covert narcissist who would do something like that, banging pots and pans to wake you up. And they're saying they're, just cooking, or they'll raise the TV really loud so that you can't sleep, or they'll play music or something like that, all right? And, again, they may sleep naked. All right. And they also, like I said, they go to bed when they feel like going to bed. All right. They don't go to bed according to, a couple, let's go to bed now, let's go to bed now, and granted, not everybody can fall asleep at the same time, but this is a regular pattern with the narcissist where they are on their own clock. All right. And they don't follow your clock, and they're not respectful of your clock as far as sleeping. And when they're up, they want attention on them, okay? They want your attention. And if you don't give them the attention, they will do things, maybe if it's a covert narcissist, in a passive-aggressive manner to disturb you because they're irritated that you're falling asleep, all right? So I hope that helps you to understand that you're sleeping with the enemy, you guys, okay? When it comes to sleeping with a narcissist, all right? And, they're always sneaky, and they're always one step ahead, and they don't trust. And if it helps you, please, subscribe to the podcast. Don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube at the Game Exposed Podcast, where I have over 4,000 videos on all of this kind of stuff. Everything about the narcissist, covert narcissist, discard, triangulation, word salad, gaslighting, toxic relationships. Go to the Game Exposed Podcast on YouTube, and have a great day, you guys. If you guys are having a problem in your dating or relationship, or you're dealing with somebody maybe that's narcissistic, you don't know if they're a narcissist, or you're just having problems, you're in a toxic relationship and you need some clarity on it, go to the link in the podcast description for my website, where I offer email and phone coaching. If you have a quick question, just a quick question, and you want to get a video sent back to you answering your question, there's also a link there for Vizio, where I will send you a personalized video answering your question. Hi, you guys, it's Yaz, and I want to tell you about my 2 books on Amazon. The first book is Regain Your Power. It's all about power and relationship. Who has the power in the relationship? And it goes into all of that, okay? The other book is Signs He's Not Into You, He's Wasting Your Time, okay? Check it out. It gives you a lot of good clues as to whether you're with somebody who's a real one or somebody who's just going to waste your time. You could read them both with Kindle's free trial membership. So check it out. Link is in the podcast description. Hi, you guys. I just want to let you know that the Game Exposed now has their merchandise available. Check out the link in the bio, and you could go check it out. There's cool hoodies, cool sweatpants, cool hats. So go to the bio for the link. And also, don't forget to follow me on Facebook at the Game EXP 123, and also on Instagram, the Game EXP 123. Okay, and have a great day.